Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be covering probably the easiest lead scraper you guys can implement. All it is Gemini used in automation. Basically, every 20 minutes it gets 20 leads from Gemini, which are decision makers, CEOs, verifies them with a tool called MillionVerifier. You can use any tool, but I think it's the best one that I've used. And then all the good leads, they get sent into your CRM or your Google Sheet, and then every 20 minutes it repeats. So that's simplified, but that's basically how this works. And it's only a few steps on N8N. It's probably the easiest lead scraper you can make. And yeah, I'm going to jump into it. I will have the template in the description, and it's going to be free because this is so easy. There's no reason for me to charge. You guys can just download it and implement it yourself. There's only one JavaScript that you might need for the template, but everything else you can probably just copy and watch this video. But yeah, without further ado, I'll get into it. You will need Gemini, and you will need a verification email tool, so that's just a heads up. But yeah, I will jump into the video now. Okay, so here we go. This is the flow. As you can see, not too long. Definitely probably the shortest, most easy to follow along with lead scraper that you can probably make, I'd say. That is actually still effective. I'll just quickly jump into it now. So firstly, you want to do a schedule. I do it every 20 minutes, and you might think that's quite often, but how this works is you're only really going to get about 5 to 10 leads per run, and that's because Gemini can only really find about 20 leads per search consistently. You can do sometimes 30 to 50, even 100, but sometimes you'll get error messages. And I think 20 was where I experimented and found that you can always get a response. So I think 20 is the safest. You can do 100 and test it and then see how many times it works. But I think for what I'm trying to do here, I think 20 is better, and you're probably going to get better quality leads. So first you want to do the 20-minute, then you want to get rows. So this is where you're going to come in to your sheet. Let me load it up, and I have a tab called areas. So if you're familiar with any of my other scrapers, what I usually do is I have a bunch of suburbs that I want to scrape in a kind of column, and I have a suburb, region, and then the status if it's scraped. So you can see I've just scraped Surrey Hills in Sydney. And basically what we're doing is we're getting the first row that is pending. So we have this checked. So in this case, it will be North Sydney because this one's scraped now. Surrey Hills has been scraped, so the next one will be North Sydney. So we're going to get the number row, which would be 3, North Sydney, Sydney, pending. Yeah, I'm not going to run it just because I've had to remove my API key because of obvious reasons. But yeah, now we go to the actual model, and this is what actually finds the leads. So can you find me 20 verified email leads for digital marketing agencies in suburb and then comma region? So you can do just a suburb, or you can do just a suburb, but I've done Sydney just for a bit more context because some of the suburbs, maybe there won't be 20, so at least they'll have some backup. It will just go, okay, where's the nearest place in Sydney that will have more marketing agencies? I don't know, this might sound like it wouldn't work, but I think this gives a bit more context. Then we want to give some context to what we actually do. So I run an AI cold outreach for marketing agencies. I generate leads, enrich leads with AI, run outreach that sounds personal for an agency, and therefore book meetings. So you want to tell them a bit about what you do, and this is going to be important because this prompt here is going to also create our icebreaker. So that is, if you don't know what that is, it's a sentence opener that I like to put at start of emails, where it looks like we've actually researched into the lead, looks like we know what we're talking about, and might have some industry knowledge, some niche knowledge, or even just a past achievement from the lead because we've probably scraped their website, or I'm assuming Gemini does. So yeah, you want to give some context so Gemini knows what you're actually trying to sell. These are my make sures. So this is just some sort of rules. They're verified. So I don't even think this actually works because Gemini can't actually verify leads. But I stay anyways, just to make it known that I want to try its best to get the verified leads, so no bounce, but I don't think it actually does. That's why, as you'll see later in this, I use a actual verifier. They are decision maker leads. This is really important. Owners, directors, CEOs, etc. That's kind of where the magic happens in this, because finding these yourself is actually really difficult. But if you ask AI, it actually, I'm not sure how, I'm assuming it just scans through websites and LinkedIn and stuff like that, but it actually can find decision makers. And yeah, anyways, moving on, you want to also give some rules for your one sentence opener. So my rules here, I've got 3: low friction tone, natural flow into the offer, and then 3, an anchor. So this is proof of research into the business, either through case studies or recent niche news. So basically just looking like you're an expert in the niche, or talking about a past achievement that the lead has, basically. So maybe they've got an award for best SEO agency in XYZ. You can bring that up. Format it into a table. So first name, company name, email, website, location, icebreaker. So this prompt is giving you so much value. It's giving you first name, company name, email, website, location, and an icebreaker all in one. 20 leads just like that, just with a prompt, just with an API. This is why I think this is one of the most efficient ways to do it. I know this is still going to cost you, obviously. You're using Gemini's API and you're using an email verifier, but it's significantly cheaper than Apollo, Hunter, things like that. I still recommend those. I use them as well, but this is another way you can broaden and scrape leads elsewhere. So, and then I've also just said only output the leads, nothing else. So I don't want any extra text. And you can see this is what it will kind of give you. So this might look like a bunch of just mess to you. You might think, how are we gonna, put this into a table neatly and stuff like that? Well, that's where this code node comes in. Now, I'm assuming you guys aren't gonna copy this word for word. I will have this whole template in the description for free, so you can go and download that and just use it. So I will scroll through it though, so you can pause and copy it if you really do want to, but I recommend just downloading it if you really want to use this. But yeah, this is the code you want. And it's basically just going to put this rough text into a nice, neat box with all the variables we were talking about before: first name, company name, email, so on and so forth. And yeah, you can see the icebreakers. Congrats on the performance agency year win. Saw the immersive digital experience you built. Things like this. Case study. Bringing up all these cool things from their website, I'm assuming. So yeah, really good. Now, this is where we do the actual verification. So here we go. We put the email in, and then we have the API. Obviously, you would put your key in here. I'm using MillionVerifier. This, I'm not affiliated with them, but this is probably the best one that I've tested. I've tested a few, and this one is my favorite, definitely, that I've tested. It just gives you really clear results. Tells you if they're good. Obviously, you're going to know good leads are definitely ready to go, and then bad are obviously not. And then gives you risky as well. Risky is difficult. Risky you can use, but it's going to be usually catch-all or unknown, so you might get some bounces. But if you really want to improve your lead flow, I would include the risky leads, because you're probably not going to get bounced. But in this flow here, I'm just using all the good leads, so that's usually going to be about 5 to 10 out of the 20. So not the best success rate, but the fact that you're doing this every 20 minutes, if you run this for a day, that's basically your leads done for XYZ campaign. You're going to get 100 leads a day easily, and that's usually enough to run a campaign to some extent. So yeah, and these are all decision makers, by the way, so really powerful. Yeah, basically copy that URL and then put your API key here. You guys should obviously know how to, it's not really that difficult. Anyways, here's the merge. This is important because we need to get all these new verified leads, merge them with their old variables. So right now they've got these random variables here, but we need to merge these emails now with the old ones, the icebreakers, the website, stuff like that. So we want to do combine matching fields, tick this, and then we want to do input 1, input 2. For input 1, we want to do the HTTP request. So that's the MillionVerifier, and then input 2, we want to do the code. And then we want to do input 1 is going to be, it will tell you what it is, so it's going to be the HTTP. We want to just make that email. And then for input 2, it will tell you obviously what it is, and then you want to also do email. This will just merge all of this together, and then the rest of this is going to be, I believe, the same. Don't change anything, or just make it whatever mine is if it is different. And then yep, save. And then now we come to an if statement. So this is where we filter out all the bad leads. So this is the setup I've got. You want to do JSON quality. So this is going to be this from the merge. You're going to do quality is good equal to good text, and result code is 1. So I think all of this is going to be the same. So OK 1, these are always going to be the same. If you have a good, it's always going to be an OK, but it's just nice to have all 3 of them. And then yeah, you can obviously include risky ones. I haven't done it here. You can probably do another if statement down here where you go through all the risky ones, so like unknown, catch all, stuff like that, and then append to row. You'll probably get a few more leads that way. I might do that later on, but for now I'm just doing the good leads. And then yeah, so we get 5 out of the 20. So false was, yeah, some risky, some bad. The bad you definitely don't want to use, but some of the risky ones you could probably get away with. But yeah, that's basically everything here. And then yeah, append to rows, this is we just adding it into the CRM. So now we go to leads. So this is my, moving on from the areas page, and now we go to leads. Now we just line it up. So first name, company name, email, website, location, icebreaker, and then sent instantly. So instantly is what I use to run campaigns. So I just write this as no, and then I have a separate automation that runs once a day, and it sends all of the leads that have no into my campaign, and then it changes it to yes. So I'm sure you guys probably have something similar, or maybe you do it manually, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's how I add it into the campaign. Maybe you guys do emails manually, I'm not sure, but yeah, that's what you guys can do. And the great thing about this is because we're using Gemini, if you guys want more variables, maybe you want the last name, maybe you want, I don't even know what else you'd want. This is all I really need, but the possibilities are pretty endless. You could get a whole lot more information about the lead. I can't even really think about what else I would ask, but yeah, this could be a lot bigger. You could be getting a lot more information, but for this, I'm just using, all the things that I will definitely use: location, first name, things like that, enough to personalize to some extent. And then now we update row. This is going to be the area row. So we come back here and we need to actually alert this that we have been scraped on that row. So come down here, and then we want to get this original one. Come down here, put that there, and that's going to give you, you want to make sure you have update row, column to match is row number, and then yeah, you want to get that variable, put it there, and then make status scraped. So now that will never be scraped again, that suburb or area, if that makes sense. That's how I do this to make sure I'm not getting duplicates. I'm always changing the suburb, and that ensures that it's always fresh leads. So yeah, that's basically everything. Hopefully this was easy to follow. I think this is probably one of the most easy videos I've made, and it's one of the most effective as well, because you're getting decision maker leads straight into a CRM with just some prompting and a bit of verification. So I think I did the math on this, and this is definitely cheaper than Apollo or Hunter. I still recommend doing those things, as I said, but this is only going to cost you, I mean, Gemini is probably, maybe $10 a month, not even. I think I pay yearly like a few, maybe $50, and then verification tools are probably about $30 a month. So you're paying maybe max $40 a month to generate basically thousands of leads a month, which is really, really good. Apollo, you're paying 200 minimum. So yeah, this is definitely a more cost-effective alternative. And I mean, most of you guys probably have Gemini anyways, if you're doing any sort of AI and automation, so this isn't really going to be a cost to you at all. But yeah, hope this was easy to follow along with. Okay, so that was everything. Hope that was easy to follow along with. Yeah, let me know if you have any other kind of videos you want to see. Any suggestions, things that you need help with, leave them in the comments. Again, if you guys need any help for your business, doing lead generation, running campaigns, stuff like that, my email is in the description and on my page. And if you have any automations that you want in your business, can be anything. I get emails from you guys all the time asking about, you know, random automations that might save your business time. I'm always open to suggestions, and yeah, leave them in the comments or email me and I'll make sure to get back. I read through everything. So yeah,